Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a clip of a fat activist saying diets are designed to weaken you, so you can't fight back. She goes on to explain that she loves being fat and lists all of the reasons. We're also going to be taking a look at a bonus clip where somebody's talking about why plus-sized women won't date plus-sized men, so be sure to stick around until the end. Also, please be sure to check out a video I released over the weekend on my second channel about how a lot of people in the UK apparently don't rinse the soap off their dishes. Here's a link. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache.
I love being fat. Very controversial to say, I know.
That is a hot take.
A lot of, I hate being fat, I hate my body, I miss being skinny. Everyone's feelings are valid and we all have body autonomy, but I personally don't feel that way. Today,
Okay, you love being fat. Are we just saying that because we've tried and failed to lose weight in the past?
I'm gonna tell you some of the reasons why I love being fat.
Okay, are we going with the reverse raccoon mask? Instead of blackness around our eyes, we're going with white here? Okay.
Because there are many. First reason that I love being fat is that it's put me in many situations where I've not always been treated favorably because of how I look.
Okay, so the first thing you love about being fat is that people treat you poorly. Okay, how many of these are going to be positive?
That might not sound like a good thing. I mean, it's not. Being in those situations means that I've developed so much empathy for other people in marginalized bodies and spaces.
In marginalized bodies, specifically, you only have empathy for them. Okay? It's good to know that you're learning from this experience. I would hope if you go through negative things, you start to have more empathy for humans in general, but no, just for people that look like you. Okay.
And although it's been very challenging at times, I am now a very empathetic person who
towards people in larger bodies.
Genuinely really cares about the struggles of others, much
if they're in larger bodies.
More invested in my community and a lot less individualistic. Number two,
Okay, so you've given up your individualism and succumbed to herd mentality.
I did mention this in a previous video, but decolonizing my thinking, and that includes decolonizing my ideas of beauty, and realizing that actually people thinking that there's something wrong with how I look is actually just because the colonizers said so.
Is that what we're telling ourselves now? My voice started cracking, that's so ridiculous. Okay, that's a very interesting technique to skirt any personal responsibility or ownership from ourselves or our own lives. If you don't like dudes and mustaches, it's because you've been brainwashed, dummy. You actually do like this. It's just, they got to you, fool. They got to you too, huh? I should have known, man. I should have known.
It's not true, and once I started to see myself.
Okay, so people are into you, they just don't know it, and they've been brainwashed or something.
Through my own eyes, I was like, I actually love how I look.
Which is why you're painting your face the same color as my coffee cup. I love how I look. Are you sure? And I'm not saying you don't love the way that you look just because you're putting makeup. I just thought that was hilariously ironic. She's literally doing this and she's like, I love how I look. There's a completely different shade of face on you right now. Your face doesn't match your arm. And there's nothing wrong with wearing makeup. That's not what this is.
Fat and being okay with being fat means you have to start to decolonize your idea of beauty, and then you start to decolonize everything else.
Why are we holding our wrist like that? Is it because there's like a little splotch of color right there, I think, and you're like holding it like an easel, like a painter would have, and you're like grabbing from there and putting a little here, putting there from your easel upon your face. Like what are we doing with the hand thing?
And wellness culture is a big one, guys.
Yeah, it is.
It's just very freeing not to equate my worth with how I look. 10/10 recommend.
Oh, I know, and it's just that easy. I don't care about my looks at all anymore. Just that easy. Why the heck do the rest of you care, idiots? Why didn't you just stop caring? Because it's just that simple. So many people are pretending to not care these days, but them saying that they don't care is the ultimate proclamation of care.
3, I'm not spending energy on dieting and how I should look and how men should perceive me.
Okay, it's good to be free from those things. I haven't been really worrying about dieting or how men perceive me either. No, I'm just kidding. We can never stop worrying about that last one. Am I right?
Dieting exists to deplete us of energy so that we can't fight back. I'm just saying. See?
Okay, see? Did not clickbait you, baby.
Dieting exists to deplete us of energy so that we can't fight back.
So you can't fight back against what? And they're designed by who? To tear you down. Like, so you're saying that if I'm so obese I can't even get up off this couch, I can fight back quite a bit better than if I can easily do this. Right. Because nothing makes you faster, stronger, and more agile than obesity. That's really weird, man, because I've seen people on my 600-pound life who needed an oxygen tube just laying there. You know what I mean? They couldn't fight back for anything. You could literally come up and do whatever the hell you wanted to them. They can't even stand up using their own legs. They're literally bedbound. You could come up and just start slapping them in the face like this. What are they going to do? Not a damn thing. You try that with me, dude, I'll put your ass in an armbar. And that's not a threat. I'm just saying.
So yeah, it is very freeing actually to fight for fat liberation and also liberation for other causes.
No, it's not very freeing to be weighed down by all this excess stuff and join a movement that literally prohibits you from excelling.
Reason number 4 as to why I love being fat is that it helped me to really enjoy eating and exercising for benefits that...
Being fat really helped you enjoy eating.
Enjoy eating.
Okay.
And exercising for benefits that have nothing to do with aesthetics. I love food, have always loved food, but spent most of my life being terrified of it.
And yet being obese at the same time?
Exercise always had very negative connotations. It was never a fun thing that I was doing. I was always doing it to lose weight. So,
and did you?
Being a fat person and just being like, hey, I can do these things and stay fat. Liberation.
No, it's not liberating at all to try to work out when you're obese. It actually limits you, it weighs you down, and you have a bunch of stuff rubbing together. If you like exercising, you'll love doing it in a smaller body. It's way more comfortable, obviously.
Let me tell you, changed my life. I actually enjoy exercising.
What does that mean? Can somebody that's obese walk for 30 minutes straight to where they're even getting a good workout? Back when I was heavier than I am now, and I wasn't nearly as large as a lot of fat activists, I could not do a lot of strenuous activity. I could do short bursts of activity, but then I would fatigue out or the thigh chafing would get to me. So I don't know what you're talking about. If you enjoy exercise, losing weight will make that infinitely easier and more enjoyable. Do you know how much doper it is to go for a walk when you have like nothing holding you down and nothing is rubbing together? It's just you. It's just you walking, man. You're not struggling against gravity and against your own circulatory system and against your own body. So I'm guessing our joyful movement never exceeds 5 minutes. And I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just have been in a larger body myself. And I know plenty of others that have as well, so.
Because it makes my brain feel good.
Exercise doesn't really make your brain feel good until you're like actually doing it for quite a while. If you stop doing it right when it starts to get difficult, you didn't push yourself into the feel-good chemicals in the brain zone yet.
Number 5, I have fattened my friendships. Please trust the process.
You have fattened your friendships. I like that.
I think a lot of fat people grow up without other fat friends. We are used to being the only fat people in the room quite often.
Well, I don't know about these days. When I go to Costco, I'm like the only person that's not fat there, pretty much.
But now, as a person who is fat and happy, being in a room full of fat friends, we all just know exactly how the others feel. When we have our Fat Lib London coffee meetups, we all just feel safe to eat in front of each other.
Okay, so the type of food that we're eating would attract judgment from others typically, but not other fat people. Okay, what are we eating? We want to be around other people that use our substance of choice so they won't judge us when we go completely off the rails with it.
And we know exactly how it feels to eat in front of non-fat people. There's no judgment. There's so many shared experiences that we've all experienced growing up. That means that we just understand the experiences of everyone else in the group. And it is really the most beautiful thing. My life...
You don't feel comfortable eating around non-fat people because you're self-conscious about your weight and what you're eating. This is a you problem, and these feelings come from within. There's no fault with the non-fat people that you think are judging you negatively. You have no idea what they're thinking. If you automatically assume people are thinking negative things about you, it's because you're insecure. So what you should do is explore why you're insecure and perhaps take steps to remediate that or work on yourself, whatever. Notice insecurity and don't try to blame it on other stuff or external things.
It's changed so much since I fattened my friendships and also getting rid
All right, stop saying fatten my friendships.
of friendships that were the opposite of fat friendly. Has been incredibly validating for me. Reason number 6, being fat is a great litmus test for your relationships. I would say most people have been taught to hate fatness.
Okay, so is this another one where people treat me poorly, and that's a perk?
Whether it's in themselves or other fat people, usually both, whether you're fat or not. If you're not fat, you're scared of being fat. Something I think
No.
about sometimes is like, if I had found a relationship while I was thinner, how would that person have felt about me if I gained the weight back? Very good litmus test. Anyway, like I said, there's so many people that just seem to be unhappy about their bodies right now, and whilst that's not surprising in the current environment that we're in, I just wanted to add to the positive side of things and tell you why I love being fat.
Do you really love it, or is this all just a display to convince us because you don't? Because you actually hate it?
Obviously, these things aren't exclusive to fat people, but in my experience, I believe that my fatness is intrinsically linked with these things, and that's not to say that they wouldn't have happened otherwise, but I don't think they can be separated. Oh, and little plug. You may or may not know that myself and 2 friends run a fat community called Fat Liberation London.
I did not know that. Next time I'm in London, which will be never, I will be sure to stop by.
We're hosting a free online event on Sunday called Fatty New Year. January is horrific. We are trying to combat that a little bit. There's going to be a poetry workshop, a meditation and breathing workshop, and...
Breathing workshop. Will I need to bring my oxygen tube?
Life touring. And it's all free, it's all online. You can head to Fat Lib London on Instagram to find out more.
All right, so the first reason she loved being fat was because she's been treated poorly, and it's given her empathy for people that have body diversity. Okay. And she also went on to say that she's given up on caring about body image and yada yada yada, many of the same points that we've heard in the past. The whole thing came off as cope to me and somebody overcompensating because they really don't like being overweight. And if you feel insecure eating around people who aren't also fat, then I would say you're not as at peace with it as you said you were. I love being fat, but I can't eat around people that are not fat because they will judge me negatively. Okie dokie. Next, this person's going to be responding to this comment that reads, why don't plus-sized women just date plus-sized men? That's a very good question.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one.
Oh, have you?
Okay. So, first of all, not every plus-size person is attracted to every other plus-size person that they see.
Okay, so you're not into plus-sized people, but you want people to be into you.
It doesn't just work like that. Second of all, it has nothing to do with our preference. I've dated plus-size guys, I've dated normal, average people, I've dated plus-size women. It doesn't matter to me. It's about the person, but that's me. Everybody's different. Plus-size men still have a problem with plus-size women.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. All right, calm down.
They still have the same exact thing because plus-size men are accepted a lot more widely than plus-size women are.
Okay, so you're saying that plus-size men are the ones that don't want to be with you. Okay, but why would somebody who puts in the effort to take care of their physique want to be with somebody who doesn't?
Because we are judged so much more on our exterior, especially when it comes to weight and shape and size.
I know there are plenty of plus-sized dudes who would date a plus-sized woman.
We're held to a very different standard. Now, there are people, of course, who judge anyone for their outward appearance and want someone that's hot, regardless if they're a man or a woman that's trying to date. But men reflect more on the outward appearance much more than women do.
I don't know about that. I think everybody is pretty equally superficial, honestly. I've seen it on both sides.
the people who make the dumbass comments that I am making videos about, and you see tons of comments on my videos of other people's experience, is men. Men are the one making those comments.
You would be surprised how many of those negative comments are actually from women. Yeah, I know dudes can be real jerks and be like, hey, fatty McFatterson, all this type of crap, obviously. And yes, I acknowledge there are a lot of those comments coming from brain-dead men, but there are also a lot of women who really like to insult each other. And y'all can be really, really nasty with that shit. And this isn't a man versus woman thing. She's just trying to say, like, oh, the men in the comments are really mean. Like, Goral world is probably 95% women. I see a lot of negativity coming from both sides.
It will be plus-size men. It will be skinny men.
It'll also be plus-size women who are slightly less plus than you. They'll be like, look how fat she is, because they don't feel like working on themselves, right? We're going to get that too.
The athletic men. It doesn't matter, because we are not seen as equal to them anyways, and they're going to judge our outward appearance regardless because we are objects to them.
Okay, well, I don't think that you're talking about actual plus-sized men. I think you're talking about dudes that are casually chubby. If you go to an actual plus-sized man, he's been through all these struggles and been rejected by society and all this type of crap too. He's probably a deep, empathetic, loving human being, right? He's been through lots of struggles like you. He's been shat upon by society for years, just like you, right? So you guys should have that in common and you should bond over that. And you're like, nah, even obese men are cocky douches. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Only the ones that don't realize they're fat.
Because men who make statements like that, that's their mind frame, okay? They're just looking at us as objects. Many women have commented this, but I have had it said to me before, I just can't see myself dating a big girl. Like, I don't know what it would look like, me and a big girl. It just wouldn't look right. I've literally heard from plus-size men how they would never date a fat girl.
Are you sure? And how plus-sized were they, like I said? And I'm not saying I disbelieve you. I know there's a lot of people in denial out there, right? There's like some dude who's 300 pounds. He's like, I could never be with you. You're disgusting. I know that's actually happening. I know we live in a very stupid world. So, yes, I'm not disbelieving you.
And I've literally been like, you're fat.
I could never be with a plus-size woman. They're disgusting. You're fat. What? How dare you? I bet if you found a dude that was 500 pounds, he would be the sweetest, most caring person on earth. But you probably wouldn't respect him for all the same reasons that you complain that people don't respect you.
Why would you not do that? Because it's different when you're a fat woman. That's literally what I've heard.
Well, they need to stop watching TV because they literally got that from Family Guy. Lois, only fat women are fat, not fat men. Something very, very close to that.
So, this, just silly. Silly. And I say that with my kids, and I mean stupid.
Okay, well, like I said, if dudes are still rejecting you, even though they are also plus-sized, they must not be that plus-sized, right? Like, they're still all cocky. You need to find a dude that's large enough to where he's humble, right? How obese does a man need to get before the humility starts sinking? And that's what I would like to know. I honestly don't buy that for a second, dude. I've seen a few very obese men online talk about how they will never have a woman and stuff like that. It seems to me that larger women wouldn't want to be with the larger man because they can get skinnier men. Even though those men are using them for their very specific fetish, they don't care because they're skinny. Even fat activists prefer somebody that's thinner, even if they treat them like an inhuman object. I don't buy the whole plus-size men are rejecting us thing. Bollocks, mate. Dudes that are very obese don't have all of these choices. They would gladly date you. Are you kidding? So obviously I disagree with all of the aforementioned, but what do you think? Are diets designed to weaken you so you can't fight back? Is it true that you'd be into larger people if you hadn't been brainwashed? And is it true that a plus-sized man won't date a plus-sized woman? Leave a comment below. Happy Friday, everybody. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.